now. Boom, boom.
Now,
Well, now we will transition into our speaker.
Nicole.
Hey, a lot of you know Randy and really want to thank Jennifer Duff for bringing Randy to our attention. For those of you who don't know Randy, Randy Spencer's been involved in the music industry representing numerous Grammy award-winning and multi-platinum selling record artists, songwriters, and producers. He began his career right here in Scottsdale for Billboard magazine. In 1995, Spencer co-formed Cadence Communications in Nashville, and a year later, the record label signed a worldwide distribution deal with Warner Brothers. The label produced a #1 song on national radio that you can ask him about, a Grammy award-winning CD, and a discovery of artists that you can also ask him about. He's involved with a number of different musicians, events, and music projects and create partnerships and fundraising opportunities for Alice Cooper's Solid Rock Teen Center. So let us introduce Randy Spencer.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for your time today, and thanks so much for Councilmember Duff, Ben, and Nicole for having us. I'd like to quickly tell you guys a lot of different things about our teen center. So the beginning of our organization, we started as a 501c3 24 and a half years ago. It was founded by Chuck and Lisa Saval, longtime Phoenix residents, with Alice and Cheryl Cooper. And Alice and Cheryl, many people know that Alice has lived in Phoenix for 60 plus years. He's 72, was originally from Detroit, and he's been living in Phoenix for forever, most of his life. He moved here when he was about 8 years old. And they wanted to do something deeper in the community that they lived in. And they're involved in philanthropy globally, worldwide. Anywhere they go, they're always involved in a lot of charitable efforts for multiple causes. But they really wanted to do something deeper and be able to give back. And they had a heart for young people, and they saw a major need for teenagers. There's a lot of really great programs that the Boys and Girls Club do, and the YMCA and everyone else for really young kids. But there was a discovery that there was a missing niche for teenagers. A lot of times teenagers don't necessarily want to be in the same room, maybe with kids coloring in a milk carton, and they wanted to be able to have their own safe space and their own niche. So they decided to open up a teen center and really focus on ages 12 to 20. So our first teen center opened 8 years ago here in Phoenix, where I'm at now. We're at 32nd Street and Thunderbird, and we serve an average of 100 teens a day. We're open Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. All of our programs are 100% free. I'll tell everyone a lot about what we do today. And we've been wanting to open multiple teen centers from the very beginning, and we're extremely excited to have signed a contract with the Mesa Public Schools to lease a building on the corner of Country Club in Maine, which I'm real excited about because I'm a big Blue Adobe Grill fan. I love that restaurant, so that's our neighbor. So we're a half block from the light rail, and since January of this year, even in the midst of all the COVID challenges, we've been building that center. So we currently have our blueprints and architects and everything. So we're anticipating to open in December or January. We'll probably have some form of a soft grand opening in December, and we'll probably be open to the public in January, but we've already started engaging with Mesa students, and we'll talk a little bit about that in today's presentation as well. And again, we serve teens ages 12 to 20. All teens are welcome, and it doesn't matter whether the teen comes from an affluent family, poor, homeless, Native American, trans, gay. It doesn't matter what their background is, as long as the only requirement is that they're ages 12 to 20, and we welcome everybody. And again, our programs are 100% entirety for free. We want youth to be inspired in art, music, and dance, but we also want to have a deeper aspect that they have adult mentorship in life and they have positive role models, and we really want to see them be mentally and spiritually whole in their life. The music and art and dance is an extremely important part of our teen center, but we really want to deepen and improve teens' lives, and we want to be able to offer them through our volunteers and through our staff that adult mentorship and that guidance that it can give them career advice, it can give them conversation, it can give them mental health stimulation, and it can give them all those things that we can guide them toward a better future. That's the deeper aspect of why our teen center exists. And we want to build better communities. And when teens improve in their lives and they do better in grades and they do better in school and they're able to contribute to the community and they're able to bond with their parents, we have a better community that way overall. So there's a lot of reasons why we open up our teen center. Our teen center in Phoenix is 28,000 square feet. We have a Leroy Neiman art studio, which was donated to us by the state of renowned artist Leroy Neiman. We have a dance studio. We have a teen room that's got foosball, air hockey, ping pong. We used to show movies in that. We've got a cool stage that teens can perform on an open mic, or they can just jam on stage. And we use that stage year round for concerts and different workshops, which I'll also mention a little bit what we do as well in those areas. We have about 10 music lesson rooms and band rehearsal rooms. So bands can rehearse at no charge. They can write songs at no charge. We have about 200 volunteers in our Phoenix Teen Center throughout the year, and they engage with anything from music lessons of guitar, bass, drums, keyboard, vocals, or they work in a recording studio with kids. We have a recording studio that's just like you'd see in Los Angeles or Nashville. It's like a world-class studio. So teens can learn to record and engineer, mix, produce. They can learn about different facets of jobs in the recording industry. And then once they learn those skills, they can come in and record their songs at no charge as well. And we have a lot of different people that come in and work with our teens in that recording studio. One of them, for example, a few months ago was Bob Ezrin, who's produced Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon and all the famous Alice Cooper records and all the famous Kiss records. And he was in town working with Alice for 4 days, and he happened to be free on a Tuesday evening, the night of our recording class. So he did a pop-up recording session for all of our recording studio students. And a few months ago, I received a phone call from a gentleman who called me and says, "Hey, I'm playing guitar in the Misfits. Can I come over and jam with a bunch of kids? I'm driving from New Jersey to Los Angeles, and I heard about your teen center. So as I drive through Phoenix, can I come by and work with kids?" So we have a lot of different well-known musicians and extremely experienced people in music, art, and dance to come over year-round and work with our kids. The Mesa Teen Center is about 11,000 square feet. It's an old school, and we'll have almost every identical program that we're presently offering in Phoenix. So we'll have a great dance room there. We'll have music lessons for bass, drums, guitar, keyboard, vocal. We'll have a Leroy Neiman art studio inside that teen center as well. There will be a teen room with stage with games for ping pong and movies and air hockey. We also have a really cool basketball court in the back that we're revising. We need a budget for that right now, so we're figuring that out, but there's going to be a basketball court. There's a great big backyard in the back that has opportunities for performance and for teens to do art and just to be able to hang out. And we'll also have band lesson rooms. And one of the things that we partnered with the Mesa Public Schools is they just gave us a budget recently for additional CTE and technology. So we'll be doing a lot of technology classes inside classrooms, on Zoom, and in person in the areas of graphic design, recording studio technology, anything we can really do in those areas to further Mesa Public Schools students to receive additional information. So for example, I've been talking to people that record with Taylor Swift, and people that record with a lot of well-known recording artists to be able to work with kids directly, whether those are on Zoom calls, or we'll have recording studio owners that live here, or we've had people like Ray Herndon from Lyle Lovett's band come over and work with our kids directly at our teen center. And that's one of the other things that we're really unique, and we're fortunate with my background as well as Alice Cooper's background, of course, is we have access to a lot of really great people who are willing to give back. So we have throughout the year a lot of workshops and a lot of concerts and a lot of one-on-one opportunities, and we'll be providing those at the Mesa Teen Center as well. And some of those, for example, we had Don Bluth at our Teen Center a few months ago, who's a renowned artist for Land Before Time and All Dogs Go to Heaven. We've had Debbie Sledge from Sister Sledge work with our kids directly. They were actually recording at our studio a few weeks ago. Ray Villafane, who's a renowned sculptor and artist, who's worked with Marvel and Warner Brothers, and he's done the Pumpkin Enchanted Garden and Carefree and Desert Botanical Garden. He's worked all over the world. Alice and Cheryl Cooper come over and work directly with the kids all the time. Cheryl is a globally renowned dancer, so she helps in the areas of dance, and Alice works with the kids in the recording studio, or sometimes he'll do a songwriting class or a lyric writing class, or sometimes the Coopers will just literally come over and just watch a dance class, and they'll just hang out and encourage the kids, or they'll just sit in and listen to music, or they'll play ping pong with the kids, and they're extremely engaged and involved with the charity. One thing that's really important to us is community involvement, and we're very proactive at giving teens experiences throughout the year, internally as well as externally. And we provide for spring training about 40 national anthems every year. So we've done that for the last 6 years for the Cubs, for the A's, for the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks. So we provide teenagers opportunities to sing the national anthem. We do that throughout the year for the Suns and the Diamondbacks, as well as the Coyotes and many other sports teams. We've also done the last 3 Valley Metro Light Rail grand openings where our dancers, and we've had bands perform at those in front of 2,000 people. So we get hired by Valley Metro Light Rail. Most of the events that we have our teens perform at are made as a donation to our teen center, and we disperse a portion of that directly to the youth, which is really exciting for us. And many of our kids are receiving their first paychecks in life through that program. And we've had people open up for Johnny Lang and Jackson Brown and Colt Ford and Social Distortion and ZZ Top. And we've done many events such as Arizona Bike Week, Scottsdale Arts Festival, Spark After Dark. We do a lot with the Mesa Arts Center. Randy Vocal, you can ask him individually about a lot of things that we do with him. We've also done a lot of things with a lot of brands and a lot of businesses. So we did a contest with Dutch Bros about a year and a half ago, and many of you are familiar with their stickers. And once a month, they distribute a free sticker to their customers. So we asked Dutch Bros if we can create one of those stickers, and we created the first sticker that Dutch Bros ever made outside of their corporate office, and we created their first Halloween sticker ever. And we did that about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago rather, about now. And we received over 500 submissions from students throughout the entire Valley. We took those art submissions to Phoenix First Friday, and we did an art exhibit, and then we did a separate art exhibit at our teen center, so the teens got a chance to show their work. And then we loaded the top 10 on Instagram, and Dutch Bros fans got to vote on the top 10, and the winning sticker design got free Dutch Bros for a year. And they also got prizes from Pizza Hut and Zia Records and other things. And then that winning sticker design was distributed at every Dutch Bros in Arizona. So that was a really great experience for a young person, because they actually got a credit in their portfolio that they can tell people to design something for Dutch Bros. We've had teens recently design t-shirts for Pizza Hut, and Pizza Hut employees have worn those, as well as Taco Bell. Some of you have heard about our new Alice Cooper chocolate milk bottle, which we're real excited about. We just put that out with Dan's Eyes and Dairy, and we had about 8 teens in the commercial with Alice. And I can send you guys a link to that if you haven't seen that. But there's a chocolate milk bottle with Dan's Eyes and Dairy with Alice's image on it, and that's a fundraiser for our teen center. And that's available now at Fry's and Bash's and all the Arizona grocery stores. We've received so much demand for that. We actually are selling a separate milk bottle that's available globally that people can purchase outside of Arizona, because a lot of Alice fans have wanted to buy that. And that's been an additional way for us to create revenue for our teen center and to get exposure, because we have a bounce back on the very back of the milk bottle that there's a description about our charity and a text message that the purchaser can receive a video and they can learn about our teen center. So a lot of programs, when we do promotion with Dutch Bros or Dan's Eyes and Dairy, it's not just necessarily a monetary thing, it's an exposure thing for us to be able to receive more opportunities for more teens to engage with our teen center. We did an Arizona lottery ticket 2 years ago that most of you saw with Alice Cooper on it. That was made as a fundraiser, and they donated Alice's licensing fee directly to our teen center. And that was a really great promotion that the teens got to be a part of. And then we're in talks right now with the Oakland A's and Hohokam Stadium to do 2 or 3 murals for spring training in 2021 that students in Mesa and other communities will be able to be a part of. So we'll be announcing that in the next few weeks as well. So we received a lot of opportunities in the community. The impact and results of our teen centers so far, we have so many stories. I can spend 4 hours just talking about that. Jordan Sparks was one of our first teens at our teen center. We do a music competition every year. The winner of that music competition gets to open for Alice Cooper at our Christmas pudding fundraiser, and she won American Idol 2 years later. We've had teens go on to American Idol. We've had teens perform in The Voice. We've had teens be hired as Phoenix Suns dancers that have gone through our dance program. We've had teens receive college scholarships. We have dozens of teens that their parents have told us, your teen center has helped my teen get better grades. Teachers have told us that constantly. They told us that their teens feel more confident as a result of learning art, music, or dance. It's helped them gain more confidence in life overall, and it's bonded their families more, and it's just given them more of an opportunity to have better relationships with their teachers or their family members. They've received better grades. They tell us, we've had teens tell us they quit drinking or being involved in drugs. Their mental health overall is better. They're less depressed, or they're not depressed at all. Several teens have told us that they personally have not committed suicide as a result of coming to our teen center. We have one particular teen named Tess that told us that we didn't know the story until after she was here for a few months, but she told us that she was going to commit suicide the day she visited our teen center for the first time. And a guidance counselor from her school brought her to our teen center, not knowing any of those dynamics. And they asked her what she wanted to do in life, and she's muttered, "I want to play guitar." So she brought her over to the teen center, and then she told us the next day, she said, "For the first time, I felt understood by somebody, and for the first time, I felt like my life mattered by coming to your teen center." And she told us a few months later that her plan was to take her life at the park after going to our teen center, and she decided to give her life a chance as a result of coming to our teen center. And Alice and Cheryl were so touched by that. They said if we did our teen center for 8 years just for that one kid, it was completely worth it. And we've had several teens that have told us. So our center has been literally a life-saving place for teenagers. And we defined our metrics not necessarily by numbers. Numbers are important to us, but our metrics are defined by changed lives. We really focus on making sure teens become as whole as possible. So we have many opportunities to be involved in either our Phoenix or our Mesa Teen Center. As I said, we're currently building the Teen Center now, so we have needs for furniture, computers, revising the basketball court, to purchase art materials. When we do open, we have a constant need for volunteers. If you have skills in art, music, or dance, or anything. We've had bankers come over and talk to our kids about financial resources and financial planning and how do you open a checkbook. We've had Chick-fil-A come over to our teen center before, and they've done mock interviews with kids and shown the teens how to fill out job applications and how to dress for job interviews, because a lot of our teens may not be familiar with that process. Chick-fil-A liked 2 of our kids so much during the mock interview, they invited them for real interviews a week later, and they actually hired both of those teens. And then we also do a Christmas pudding concert every single year that has a variety of celebrities. That's our main fundraiser. So there's potential to be involved in that as potential sponsors and volunteers. We've had Johnny Depp and Joan Jett and Styx and Alice Cooper over the last 18 years at that concert. And then many of you are familiar with our golf tournament that we do every year in April in Mesa at Las Sendas. And there's opportunities to be involved potentially in that as well. So that's kind of a lightning fast version of what we do every single day. And I wanted to open up to any questions if you guys have any questions about our teen center as well.
Randy, I'll start with, how did you guys decide to have a location also in Mesa?
We've had our vision to have multiple teen centers for a long time. If we had a budget, we'd literally have one in every city and multiple cities around the country. We've received interest since we announced our teen centers from literally all over the world. And we've received interest from almost every city in the state of Arizona, including Tucson and Flagstaff, and there's people in Prescott. And the short answer is we've been wanting to be in Mesa for a long time. We have a great relationship with Los Angeles. We have a great relationship with many of our Mesa partners. And we've been wanting to do that for a while. And we've been meeting with Mayor Giles, and he's opened some doors. And when we met with Mesa Public Schools about a year and a half ago, I think it was about that at that stage, they had such a vision for our center, and they welcomed us so quickly. And they instantly showed us 12 empty buildings, and they said, we have about 20 more. And they said, we're very eager to do this, not only for our students, but for, the community. And it was a fairly easy, thing to accomplish. And one would say it was a no-brainer. So economically, it really made sense. And there's such a need everywhere, but there's a major need in Mesa. So we're real excited to be able to engage with those kids and those families.
And Randy, how, if we're interested, either through our business or through our organization, of having students perform, are we able to do that? And what's the process to have students involved or to perform at an event?
Yeah, that's a great question. You would just call me or email me, and that's a fairly simple process. You let me know a little bit about the event, and then I usually send out YouTube videos, and I send 3 or 4 examples of musicians that I think would fit the event. I mean, if it's a country music concert, we're not going to send you someone that sounds like Metallica. So we have kids that do hip hop and bluegrass and blues and gospel and R&B. We have kids that do literally every form of music. We have over 200 bands and solo artists alone every year that engage in our music competition. So we have someone for pretty much just about any event. And then you look at the videos and just give me a thumbs up and say, I really like this person. And, it's not only about a budget. We do some things for gratis. And we have a lot of kids that are very involved in community service. So we do free things for Phoenix Children's Hospital all the time. We have kids perform at the Kids Zone over there. And we do a lot of things for Child Help USA and do a lot of performances. But we just, discuss it. And whatever your need is for an event, you just let us know, and we're happy to provide music for it, or dancers, or art on site as well.
Great, thank you.
How many kids are you seeing on an average day? Is it you said you're open Monday through Friday, 2 to 8, which is basically after school. So how many kids are you currently seeing maybe on an average day in your Phoenix location?
Pre-COVID, about 100 kids a day. Some days are more than others. We serve about 3,000 to 5,000 annually.
Okay.
And then post-COVID, we were closed for about 6 weeks when we quarantined and everything sort of started. But we did online classes during that time. We did online performances. We were playing video games online with kids. Any way we can engage. We were a remote teen center, if you will. Now we have about 40 to 60 kids a day. Now that school has started, it's starting to pick up again significantly.
And what's the average length of time? Like if a kid starts going to the Alice Cooper, teen center, like what's the average length? If a kid goes there, is it a short period of time, or are they typically engaged? Hey, I like these projects. I like what I'm doing. How long do they go for?
Well, we have some kids that literally come here every day. I'll tell you one thing about our teen center, and I'll answer your question in a moment. When we were closed during quarantine, we had several kids come to our teen center parking lot, although we weren't open because they had unfortunate circumstances and challenges at home. And we serve all facets of kids, but we serve a lot of kids with a lot of heavy, deep challenges. And we had a lot of kids that while we were closed, they felt safe just to be in our parking lot. And they didn't really necessarily want to be at home per se. So that's the kind of community and the welcoming atmosphere and what this teen center has really meant to kids. We have kids that before we open at 2, they'll come and sit in our lobby and plug in their phones, or they'll work on their laptops if they're homeschooled, or if they're having a really difficult time with their family or school. They just have a safe place they can hang out in our lobby. We have some kids literally, we have one kid, he just comes to our teen center every day. He sits in a bench for about 4 hours, and we don't necessarily know what his thing is. Once in a while, he'll do a drum lesson. Once in a while, he'll do a guitar lesson. But we're so happy he's at our center and he feels comfortable and he feels safe to just be at our center. That's so important. And one day we believe he'll open up more and we'll know more of his story. But for now, he just sits on the bench and he's perfectly happy. We call him the security guard, and we let him be the security guard and welcome all the people when they come in. But typically, most kids come in for 1 or 2 days a week. We have kids from Chandler, we have kids from Gilbert, we have kids from Avondale. 75 to 80% of our kids are from within a 5-mile radius, but we literally have kids everywhere. We have foster homes that bring kids on buses and vans from Tucson. We have Native American nonprofits that bring kids in from Flagstaff once or twice a month. So we literally serve kids from the entire state. But a lot of kids, they'll come in maybe, let's say an average day, they might come in at 3 o'clock. They'll do their homework for a little bit or play video games. Then they'll jam with some friends, and they know there's a 4 o'clock songwriting class. They'll be a part of that. Then they'll rehearse with their band at 5. So some of the kids literally plan everything out like in those 3 or 4 hours in one day. And then some kids, they want to be involved in everything. So they might want to come one day for video class, another day for art, another day for music. And then sometimes we have a guest workshop and they want to be involved in that. So it's a little mix of everything, but we have a lot of kids that are engaged and they're coming here literally 2 to 3 days a week.
Randy, Randy, you serve a need for young people that are challenged at home, as I'm hearing you say that. So with that in mind, do you have counselors and other people that you work with, or are you able to connect them with services that they might need? You seem to be an area where you can really get the kids to open up and connect, and that's part of starting for the healing process with a lot of those young people.
You're absolutely right. And that's a lot of our program. A lot of times our kids will be in a bass lesson or an art lesson, and they'll just tell the teacher, do you mind if I talk about something that's going on? They just really want someone to talk to. Or sometimes the girls will be like doodling with the art. They'll be with one of our art instructors. Her name is Al. And they'll be like, what happens if a boy does this to me or asks me to do this? Or what happens if one of my family members has asked me to do something I feel uncomfortable with? And that's just code for they really want private female, conversations. We are not licensed counselors, but we're there for kids just to listen to them. And we have multiple partners like Child Help USA through trauma and other partners that go deeper. One of our board members is Dr. Pat Rankin. He's the CEO of Banner Health. So we have a lot of Banner Health employees and a lot of other medical employees that come over and work with the kids one-on-one if they need that psychological aspect, if they need that follow-up counseling. We've had kids literally tell us code words that they're about to mentally break down, and they give us code words that they're potentially going to commit suicide. And if something like that happens, we'll call Teen Lifeline, we'll call the police, we'll call a suicide support group, and we don't abandon the kids and just leave them and say, okay, well, we hope things work out. We'll go deeper and make sure that that kid is in a safe atmosphere that very day and drop everything we're doing. One of our teens has been experiencing stage 3 cancer, and her mom doesn't engage with her at all. And she needed a ride to the hospital 2 in the morning. Her own mom wouldn't take her. And one of our staff members, she's 19, has become really good friends with this teen. And we drove her to the hospital because the teen had no other options. So whatever we can do, we take teens out to lunch to engage with them one-on-one, to a dialogue further what's going on in their lives, and to build stronger relationships. So we don't necessarily, like I said, we're not licensed counselors, but we are counselors in a sense. But if they need deeper counseling, we connect them with other partners.
And in that case, are you working with agencies in Mesa to support some of that as you move in this direction?
I don't have them right now off the top of my head, but we do have partners there and we welcome that. And we also do a lot with DES as well. So they connect us with a lot of resources and opportunities as well. So we have a very good relationship with the state and DES.
And we're a community that has a lot of nonprofits that support a lot of those. So I think there are probably many in this Rotary group that are on some of those boards that maybe can connect at some point and be resourced to you here in Mesa.
We would welcome that. I don't know everybody that we have an extension with. We have extensions in lots of different places.
Very good.
And Randy, we appreciate very much you speaking to us, and we'll reach out if we have further questions, and look forward to working with you and having you guys in our community. And then Ben, gonna hand it back to you.
Do you mind if I just say one more thing real quick, please?
Absolutely, please, Randy.
I also wanted to end, thank you for your time, and I wanted to invite each of you to come see our teen center, whether it's individually or in groups, and discuss how we can be involved in Mesa and or Phoenix. And I'll just leave my email and my office number real quick in the chat, and I'm happy to set up meetings with each of you, whether they're in groups together or individually. Just call me. We are real excited about being in Mesa, and we look forward to collaborating with you.
Perfect, thanks.
I'm going to call on Sally Harrison to just give us maybe a 1-minute update on the Chamber of Commerce. What's new? If there's anything that is on the forefront there. Sally?
Okay. Thanks, Ben. Real quick, I would just say that right now, a couple of us are spending the majority of our time working with the city on the Mesa Cares program. So if you have a small business or if you have a business that just needs help, please check out the city's website. Just Google Mesa Cares Technical Assistance Program. And there's about 30 different options that you can get help with, everything from legal to website development to PPE or signage. I mean, there's just a ton of things. And if you have not applied and you're a small business, shame on you. You need to take advantage of it. There's a lot of good things there. And if the money is not spent by the 30th of December, the money gets sent back. So we need to make sure that whether it's you or friends or people, you know, in your strip, you know, where your businesses are, that everybody is taking advantage of that. And I'll leave it at that at 1:02.
Thanks very much, Sally.
Sure.
And again, hey, thanks, Randy. And we hope you come back and bring us some more good programs in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys enjoy your day. Appreciate you having us.
Ready?
Now, just thinking ahead, heads up for next week, it's Labor Day. So we're going to be dark and there'll be no meeting. But the week following, our very own John Scott Williams is going to have an interesting program, and I hope everyone tunes in. John's warming up as we speak. Following that, Phoenix Gateway Airport and an update there from a well-informed speaker. And then the last meeting of the month of September is going to be with Gary Schilling, and he's a well-known economist. Appeared in Forbes and Barron's, Wall Street Journal, and regularly in the New York Times. He's going to talk to us about the economy, some emerging trends, and he'll give us his commentary at the end. Now, our next meeting, that would be the one after the first meeting after Labor Day. We're going to have a guest, and that's Liz Mahoney. She's our district governor. She's just going to drop in. She doesn't have a program for us that week. She just wants to stop in and say hi and wants to see how we do what we do in Mesa. So with that, this has been a great day, and I hope we go forward and make it outstanding. Thank you for being here. See you all on the 16th. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks,
Hi,
Jared.
Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Great program.
Thanks to all of you.
Randy. And he's gone.
Thanks for being here, guys and gals.
Well, Ben, you did it again. You did a nice job.
Thanks, Tom. It was a nice program.
It was.
Great.
Thanks for making that happen. And nice to see everyone in the meeting. We had about 42, I think, or 43 maybe.
good turnout.
Yeah. Talk to you guys soon. Guys and
Okay,
gals.
have a good day.
Bye.